Hi there. This is take one on this new video about I ordered the book, proof copy of my new version of my book, edition 3 of In the Grip of Paranoid Schizophrenia. Well, we have the book right here. We have the book right here. Would you like to see it? It's case wrap cover, which I didn't understand what that was until I saw the book, where it's on the actual book, cover, the back and the front things, and the ISBN, and the spine has the one way or another there, or whichever side's right up in front of the camera, and you can see that there. So, and I got this book in the mail today, and I opened it. It was, of course, it needed to be opened right away, and there was a company here, and so I opened it, and I studied very carefully once, but I just I could check the actual page numbers of the chapters, but I think I did check some of them and they were right. But they're all right. But the file I made to print this book printed first for perfect the first time. Unlike the first edition of the book where it took 6 revisions and proof copies each time. That if you make a change, you got to get a proof copy and approve it again. So I guess I got to go in there and approve it. I was going to do that online on camera feed here and see it in live action, real time. I mean, me turning the book on, making it actively, turning it into the distribution network on the camera on this computer later here, a little bit later. But this is good. This is a good, easy read. Now it's much reader, like the beginning of it was about the psychotic years, and great delusions continue a chapter I see, followed by a conspiracy of classic paranoid schizophrenia, another chapter. The headers at the top all come out right. Does severe psychosis have a cure? Question mark. Well, it's in the story here. And then the Requiem of Wellness is the next chapter. And it's all pretty fine and dandy as far as I can see. Everything was supposed to pretty much. I mean, it should be within spec for the global distribution network and specification for that global distribution network. I hope. I've got to click a button and turn it on there too to send it there for their review, and then it'll be available in 6 or 8 weeks then through places like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and other places. Any bookstore where you can order a book, or if you have the ISBN number, I don't know how to put that on there on the screen exactly, and while I do that. But the story it's a good story. The introductory parts that explain the differences in the chapter in the versions of the book are excellent. I think I read them and I thought, well, that's a good way. I don't even remember writing that, but I thought it was written very well. So third edition afterthought. So then I like how it all printed up and everything. And the thing that was flagging me on, or trying to flag me, or alerting me on, was the scans are not right, but they're clearly legible. They're grayscale. They're not black and white. If you use black and white, they'll bleed together. Things will bleed together from the black, and so you can't do that. You got to use grayscale when you scan these, and that's what it is. So there's a few pages where the original Lenin personality drawings and UFO diagrams, schematic diagrams, and things are in there. I used to tell the government that was what they were using against me to stop it. That's why I got the whole thing started. That schizophrenic. I would never do that in a billion years. Try to start a story. Do those kind of people, like the government, the CIA, and all them people. I would never do that. I have no interest in, I have other interests in life that are more fun, more pursuing as I'm able to with my back condition the way it is today. But that's another story. But this version then has more of some commitment papers that were filed at a later, much later point in time from my dear stepmother's house. I think I don't know if she handed them to me before she passed away or got them afterwards. But it's sad to see my stepmom, Katie Bird, the one now. But the toilet papers they had to use against me, though, I mean, are in here. They were around the house there. They found them. They cleaned out. And so I put some of those in here. And what they describe as symptoms of mental illness and what they use for grounds for commitment is you can study this. I mean, see what if you're worried about getting committed or you've been committed. And the court paper where I was kept for a year and wasn't released from a secure facility. I mean, for the dangerousness I read some of this, and it blows my mind. I have to do that kind of shit. I think that I remember. If I didn't start writing this as soon as I did in 1997, uh, I wouldn't have remembered where all these details and things. Damn, I meant to turn that messenger off. It would blink in there. Anyway, so then he goes through the Secret Service file and then the usual thing. The unique things in here, man. You got to admit these are unique. I want to show them to you. You believe me? This is in the book. If you can read this, can you read this? Can you read that? Where is the camera? J.W. Lennon at my address in Orangeville, Ohio, 43713. Orangeville. I thought it was a code word at the time. From the British Embassy Passport Office. And there's even more. Another one down here from the Reverend John J. Lennon. What's it say? Reverend J. Lennon. My address. Uh, uh, so, uh, so, uh, so from the British Information Services, the way the story goes, it fills you in on all these weird, all the variety of those kind of big people. My little psychotic episode involved because it lasted for 10 years, this part of it, or whatever, 8 years or whatever it was, the John Lennon years, personality years. And it went away in 48 hours on risperidone, or whatever you want to call it. And so I take that and some other things, and I'm free from all this positive. I mean, symptoms of schizophrenia, positive that you're psychotic, hallucinations and delusions. So this book goes by the medical model, and I recognize some people don't like that. They think that medicine is the answer, but for me, it's been like 24 years ago now. The last time I was in the hospital, and there's a part. By Susan Culbertson that she put in there, the social worker that was at the hospital at the time, and who to thank for this, besides a lot of people I forgot before, was Aaron Donnelly, who used to be the newspaper editor here in town locally, and when she's reported the story of the first edition, she offered me a second edition edit, grammar and buff polish, I think she called it, like type edit, and so it read smooth then after because I never had the kind of training like a journalist would have, none of the grammar rules. I see some of the books and style books, but complicated stuff. So she applied grammar rules and things like such to it that make it read smooth in the second edition. And she was so kind of her, Aaron, to go over the third edition. And I admit, since you did that, I added things wove things into it further, but it might have been not grammatically the way you would do it. But overall, the book is a smooth read. It's how many pages we got here? I know how many's in the master file, but it's like 241, 245. 245 pages before it quits numbering pages. So it'll be 246, 247 pages. That was the last of it. How these go together, these pages stick together sometimes. So there's a couple blank pages. That's a bit formatted for the printer or something. That they have some blank pages at the end. So I don't want to give up the ending of the book, but I was reading the ending, third edition epilogue, and uh, it's only 2 pages. A page I wrote, and the page somebody else sent me writing about myself and my case, and it draws the distinct conclusion that uh, the illness is very serious unless you seek treatment for it and stay in treatment for it. It can be very serious, even fatal. You can be like I was and had police pistols pointed at my head at one time, different occasions, and it just doesn't register when you're psychotic what's going on. So this book will take you on a journey into the inside of a psychotic mind, what goes on there. First half of the book, I mean, practically, and then what it was like directly with wellness to get well, and then living with more modern ways of living with it. Now that's all these many years later. Now it was 1975 when I came down with the illness. When I was 17. I'm 60 now. And it's 20 the year this is being published. I'm 60 this year. So in the grip, third edition. The only thing that was wrong was I'll show you on the cover. On the cover, the third edition was I was on the auto generator pilot thing for the cover. Was covering up the P on schizophrenia, and I didn't see how to move it. And if I'm to change it now, I'll have to do another revision copy proof copy before I can approve it. So I was going to go over here to prove it right now, so you'll know it'll be available to you soon in 6 weeks to 8 weeks. It'll be available to you in 6 or 8 weeks on Amazon and places like that. You'll probably get free shipping, or it'll be at the. Right now, it's available at the. I don't know how to put this on. I'm trying to figure out how to put this on print on here, this film. But you can get it at the publisher Lulu.com. I believe it's got direct access where you can just anybody can direct access it. You have to just search for my name, POD Pod, so Binski, Podsobinski. Just search for my name or the name of the book in the River Scared or Schizophrenia on Lulu.com is where it's at now. That's the self-publisher, Lulu Press. So it'll make its way into I hope make its way into the global distribution network over the next 6 to 8 weeks once I do this little thing on here. And where was I? Going to go here and hi. It's a good thing that didn't work where I was trying to connect up and improve the book because upon the next night, tonight, I was carefully looking, had the approve button on the screen and was teetering between clicking it and not. And then I took a closer look at the book and saw that one chapter in the book was not listed in the table of contents. So I had to scurry about and fix that little headache, that came up. And a lot of headaches in this kind of thing, doing this kind of thing. But so I fixed that and had to order another preview proof copy. So it'll be approximately 2 weeks before I get that, before I can move on to anything else. I have to make sure it printed right before I approve it. Everything else is perfect in it, but that one chapter happened. And good thing I caught that error. It's a really good thing. Otherwise, it would have gone and it would have been messed up. Could have cost me money to have fixed once it's in the press system. So before I can distribute it and approve it for submission to the global distribution network, I have to get this proof copy now. So that's just the way it turned out. I'm glad I caught that error. So it's a better book for you when you get one. So have peace and love in your day, and I'll catch you later.